Hello, and welcome to episode 71 of the Nourish and Strengthen podcast. Today, you guys, we are diving into a topic that so many of us deal with and on a day-to-day basis, and that has to do with our own self-image and the tendency we have to just pick our bodies apart, especially as we age and we navigate these changes as we age. I am with you guys. I am the first person to point out my wrinkles or my smile lines or all the different imperfections that come with our bodies. It's tough. It's a struggle, right? And so this is a very, very important topic because, guys, our bodies they've carried us through so much. We've had babies, we've had careers, we have, now a lot of us are in the stage of life where we are raising teenagers, which is tough, right? We may be having grandkids soon if we don't already. And so our bodies are truly our vessel for carrying us through these times. Okay. So I want to talk about a couple of things today. I want to talk about why we pick our bodies apart. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. And then I want to talk about how we can build that body confidence and some tangible tips on how to do that. Okay, I've got 5 ideas here that you're going to be able to implement right away to help you feel more confident in your body and just stop all the little nitpicking. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get started. So, why do we pick our bodies apart? So much of this, you probably know, but so much of this is that societal pressure in the media, social media, right? We're constantly exposed to filters and photoshopped and just things that are not real. And now, gosh, the whole AI thing. Have you guys seen that? You know, how AI can create images. AI is creating like these quote unquote influencers on social media that aren't even real people. It's insane, right? And so our poor daughters, they're going to grow up comparing themselves to these images that aren't even real. And it can affect us too, right? As perimenopausal women in our 30s, 40s, 50s, it's tough. It's tough, right? Not to mention, like, how obsessed we are with anti-aging and staying younger and looking younger. And I'm with you. I totally get it. I'll own up to the fact that I get Botox because I want to try and get rid of as many wrinkles as I can. I use red light therapy on my face, right? But it's the constant nitpicking that we want to get rid of, right? So we've got the societal pressure, especially coming through the media, social media, right? But we also have self-comparison. And this can often get us when we talk about comparing ourselves to younger versions of ourselves, right? Seeing older pictures and I think part of this is natural, but seeing those pictures when we're younger and just being like, oh, it's how I used to look in my 20s and 30s, but our bodies change, our faces change, and that is okay. So it's really important to try to reframe aging and those signs of aging as awesome things, as a sign of amazing life experiences that we've lived, rather than like this loss of this perfection of youth, right? And we also have these inner critics, right? We are our own worst critics, and oftentimes the things we say to ourselves are ingrained in us from maybe past experiences in our own lives, things we're hearing from the media. Maybe it's comments from I almost said well-meaning, but maybe not well-meaning, just family members. Sometimes we're afraid of being judged. Oftentimes the things that we are most self-conscious of, we project that, right? For example, if we are most self-conscious of, I don't know, our smile lines, or maybe like extra fat around your abdomen or your thighs or whatever, you project that onto other people and you assume that they're thinking that about yourself as well. So then you show up with like this fear of judgment, like, oh, everyone can see this on me. They're all seeing the same things that I do about myself, when that's truly not happening, right? So we really need to work on unpacking that and focusing on that positive self-talk and that self-acceptance, right? So let's jump into how we can build that body confidence. Okay, so we're going to focus a little bit first on our body appreciation. Okay, because this is huge. This is huge. And then we are going to get into the tangible takeaways and tips on how to stop nitpicking our body. But this is really the base of it. So I want to spend a few minutes here too. Okay, so it's really important that we focus on our body's strengths and not just appearances. So start by noticing, being appreciative for what our bodies do for us, not just how they look, right? Everything we do throughout the day. You can do this in a bunch of different ways. Maybe at the end of the day, you say, "Thank you, body, for helping me do XYZ." Like truly, you can say that out loud. "Thank you, body, for helping me lift so hard at the gym today. Thank you, body, for helping me. Thank you, brain, for helping me get through a full day of work and stay mentally attentive. Thank you to my mood for staying happy and supportive of my kids all day long." Whatever that is, but focusing on what our bodies have done for us throughout the day, right? You can also shift your language, really practice kinder self-talk. So a good thing I like to think of, oftentimes we'll think, if you wouldn't say it to your friend, you shouldn't say it about yourself. I have a stronger idea for you. If you wouldn't say it to your daughter, you shouldn't say it about yourself. How's that one? Okay. So affirmations like, "My body is strong and capable," or "I am worthy to do XYZ without having to prove myself." This language of this kinder self-talk and really asking yourself, would I say that to my beautiful daughter? No, you probably wouldn't, right? So you shouldn't be saying it about yourself. And the kind of things take time, okay? It takes time in noticing those negative thought patterns and then consciously reframing them and training yourself to say the new language over and over again, okay? It's a process, right? Another idea here is celebrating your journey instead of just thinking, "Oh, I'm not to where I want to be yet," with whatever it is, with your body goals, with mindset goals, personal development. Instead of obsessing over the finish line and how far you are towards that goal, instead celebrate all the little milestones you've checked off. So let's just use a weight loss goal, for example. Let's say you want to lose 30 pounds and you're maybe halfway into that. Instead of being like, "Oh my gosh, it's been 6 months and I'm only half of the way in." Instead, if you find yourself thinking that, say, "Nope, I have lost 15 pounds and I can do this and I can do that. And I used to not be able to do this. And I used to be embarrassed to be in pictures. And I used to be nervous to go to the gym. And now I'm not." All these things, celebrating every step of your journey and your progress is so important. Okay. Another one is practicing gratitude for your body every single day. You can do this by starting or ending, really, like, sometime during your day, have a quick gratitude practice. So think about 3 things that your body has allowed you to do that day. So this is why it's fun, because you can kind of think of something different. What has my body allowed me to do today? Thank you, body, for helping me go on a 1.5 mile walk. Thank you, body, for working so hard in my job. Thank you, body, for driving me around, for helping me drive my kids around to all their different activities today. It's going to be different every day based on your day, right? Thank you, legs, for carrying me through this busy day. Thank you, arms, for helping me embrace my kids. These kind of things. Okay, it's that gratitude, and you think it. You can even say it. Okay, that's going to be even more powerful. And then a big one here is reframing those negative thought patterns. But I want you to do it a little differently. I want you to reframe with curiosity and not judgment. Okay. So when you catch yourself thinking something critical, like we mentioned just a minute ago, I want you to pause. Okay. Take that second and pause and reframe that with curiosity. Okay. So instead of being like, let's think of an example. "Oh, my cellulite on my thighs is so ugly." So instead of being like, "Oh, why did I think that? I'm not supposed to think that. I'm trying so hard to think to different thoughts. I'm the worst because I thought that." That's judgment, right? Instead think, why do I respond like that? That's so interesting. I'm curious. Like, you can phrase your thought with the words, "I'm curious, ... in your mind, right? I'm curious. Why did I think that? Why do I think that cellulite's so ugly? Interesting. Oh, maybe it's because on social media, I don't see other women with cellulite." And then it's easy to be more conscious of your thoughts and be like, "Well, I do actually know that social media is a highlight reel and I shouldn't compare myself." You see, you're basically, when you look at it with curiosity, you say, "I'm curious, ... Why did I think that?" It helps you kind of break down that thought and think about it more consciously instead of just allowing yourself subconsciously to be like, "Oh, my cellulite's so ugly. I'm the worst. I'm horrible. I'm so fat. I'm so ugly," right? Like, "I'm curious, ... Why do I think that? Oh, maybe it's because so-and-so looks so perfect all the time. Oh, she actually doesn't. I know that. And I know I shouldn't be comparing myself to other people. So let's focus on how strong my legs are and how they get me through the day and that kind of thing." Okay. So let's move into some tactical tips to stop the criticism. We want to stop So let's focus on some tactical tips to stop the criticism, because what we're here to do today, right, is stop picking our bodies apart in the mirror, right? So I have 3 things that I want you to start doing today, okay? The first one, we're going to call mindful mirror time, okay? So I want you to set up a timer on your phone or whatever. It could be for a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. You're going to stand in front of the mirror without critiquing yourself. When was the last time you did that? Most of the time we go in front of the mirror and we're like, ew, look at that. Look at that. That's so chubby. That's so wrinkly. That's so whatever, right? Instead, I want you to practice observing without judgment, okay? Just appreciation. Now, at first, it might be a struggle to get that appreciation, okay? But just standing there without judgment is the first step. You're going to get to a point where you can be like, hey, I actually think my nose is pretty cute. Or, hey, look at how strong my arms are getting. Or, hey, look how good my jeans look on my butt, right? You'll get there. But in the beginning, it might just look like standing there in front of the mirror without judgment. And that's the first step, okay? Practicing being in front of a mirror without picking your body apart, all right? Tip number 2 that I want you guys to start doing today is dressing in clothes that make you feel good, no matter your current size. I don't want you guys to gold jeans are great, but I want you to go buy some jeans that fit you really good, because I know they're out there. I know they are, and you're going to feel incredible in clothes that fit you well, and you are going to show up differently in your life. I promise, because no matter what your goals are, no matter where you're at now, you deserve to feel good now. You do. You don't need to wait until you lose 15 pounds to buy a whole new wardrobe, because then you're going to feel good. Then you're going to be confident. And if you are on a weight loss journey and you want to buy a whole bunch of new clothes, you can wait. But I encourage you to buy something, a few items that make you feel good and confident now, and dress for that confidence, okay? Tip number 3 is I want you to limit the negative influences on your mindset. This is huge, you guys. So this might look like, there's a few ways to do this. This might look like auditing your social media feed and unfollowing anyone who doesn't make you feel good about yourself. If you find yourself, there's this one person, maybe it's someone you know in real life, maybe it's not, but you constantly are comparing yourself to her, and you feel bad when you see her stuff, right? I want you to unfollow. You can also do this by just reducing your doom scrolling, right? Doom scrolling is when you're not on social media for a purpose. You're just scrolling through accounts, wasting time, that you should be doing something more productive, right? Limit your doom scrolling. One idea that's kind of fun is to only scroll social media while you're walking. Okay, that's going to get you moving, and it's going to naturally limit the time spent scrolling, because you're walking, you're going to notice it. You're not going to sit there so mindlessly, right? So I love that tip. But really curate your social media feed to include positive people that make you feel good about yourself, that you truly enjoy following. Okay. Another tip, number 4, is similar to one of the other ones, but practicing body neutrality. Okay. So if you are in the middle of a journey and truly loving and appreciating your body feels really, really difficult right now, and you're like, I can't do that. I just can't. No matter what you say, I'm still disgusted with how my body looks. First of all, I hate that language. It was hard for me to even say those words, because I've trained my mindset so much away from using words like that. But if that's how you feel, I want you to aim for body neutrality instead. Okay. So this really truly is focusing on what your body does rather than how it looks, and focusing on acceptance even before love. If body love feels too far-fetched and too hard for you, focusing on acceptance can be a game changer. Okay. So listen to yourself. And don't feel like you have to push yourself way too hard into that whole body love thing if you're just not feeling there. Okay. So maybe you can't say, I love how my arms look. Maybe you say, or let's see, what's an idea? Instead of saying like, I love how my arms look, I appreciate that my arms allow me to love my kids and carry my groceries into the house, right? And last one here, number 5, is set boundaries around negative body talk. Kind of like I just mentioned, for me to say the words, I am disgusted with my body, is a hard sentence for me to say. It truly is, because I have created such strong boundaries around body talk. I don't like saying the F word. That's fat. I don't like that word. I don't like when people say about themselves, I'm just so disgusted with myself. I truly cringe. I can't, I always point it out. I'm like, hold on, before you keep talking, please don't ever say that again. I say that to people when they say that, because I pick up on that language because I've created such strong boundaries around body talk in my own mind that I notice it. Okay. So how do you do that? So if conversations with friends or family turn into like diet talk, body criticism talk, you can change the subject. I know it's easier said than done, but you can just change the subject. You don't even have to point it out. Sometimes it can be awkward to be like, let's not talk about that. All right. You can just change the subject. Okay. But more often than not, I feel like this happens in our own minds, right? We find ourselves thinking a thought about our own bodies or even about other people's bodies. We do it, right? We're kind of mean like that sometimes. So really try to notice that and reframe those thoughts immediately. So that's what I got for you guys here today. Hopefully that was helpful. Your body is more than its appearance. It is so important, and we're only blessed with one of these in our entire lives. Okay. So I challenge you to just pick out 1 or 2 things that I talked about and really focus on that over the next week or 2. And I know it's going to make a big difference in how you feel, your mood, how you show up for yourself, how you show up for others. So if this helped you guys today, shoot me a message on social media. I'd love to hear about it, and I will see you guys next week.